Okay, so yeah. Hello and welcome to the first ever RuneScape Talkshow by Super Lewis TV. So today we have four main topics to discuss. We have botting, the Grand Exchange, merchanting, and the dice game. Let's start off with botting. So some players think that botting is a very bad thing and that it's just all around horrible. Nobody should bot on RuneScape. Now, when I say this, I'm not encouraging anyone to actually go and bot on RuneScape. I'm just giving you a mature perspective from the matter, a neutral, unbiased perspective. There are some pros to botting, whether players like it or not. Obviously, one of the pros of botting is you get an abundance of XP and usually cash depending on what script you're running and what you're botting, what skill. You gain experience probably around 3 times as fast as a normal player because you're playing around the clock, or the script is actually running your count around the clock. And you level up a lot quicker than any of them. But there are more cons than pros to botting. Like, some of the cons are it affects the price of an item in the GE. For instance, if you're cutting U logs and you cut 12 KUs in one night, and you go to the GE the next day and you sell them for minimum price because you don't really care about how much you make off of them. It's just getting them out of the way because you just use them to level up. Okay, well, let's say 100 people using bots do that. Obviously, the price of the item is going to go down because people, when they go to buy used, the Grand Exchange automatically lets you buy them for the lowest price. So they'd be buying your low price used rather than someone else's earned average price used. So it lessens the values of items, and it's definitely a major contributor to the recent crashes, or not really recent because they've happened over 6 months, but the crashes of the items. Which brings us to our next topic, the Grand Exchange. Why are all the items crashing? For 6 months now, a very large portion of RuneScape's item database has been crashing or just declining on the graphs. The prices are just going down. Some of the theories are there's too many bots. There's a rumor that half of RuneScape's player base is nothing but bots or real-world trading advertisers. And you may not believe this rumor if you're a member, but if you're a free player and you go in a free world, you will see just how much you get spammed with players that are just advertising for real-world trading. And also, there's a shrinking player base. The player base shrunk down to almost nothing when the trade scale, when there was no wilderness. But a lot of the players that left never came back, and they since the wilderness have been put back and the trade scale's been removed, or the trade limit, should I say, has been removed, a lot of the players still haven't come back. And so, merchanting as our next topic, is it still possible? Well, yes and no. Merchanting, there's too small of a player base to sell completed items. And what I mean by completed items is a maple longbow unstringed, that would be a raw material. Now, a maple longbow string, that would be a completed item. Well, obviously, you can't sell a completed item in massive bulks. Like, you can't sell 4 completed maple longbows, 4K completed maple longbows, sorry, because there's not that many players and there won't be anybody to buy them. Now, if you sell the raw material, like the unstringed maple, well, yeah, someone's going to buy it because they're using it for their crafting experience. But even at that, it takes a while to sell, and it's a very competitive marketing system. I mean, it's not as easy to make money as it used to be. So you can still merchant, but it's a lot harder to make money than what it was, 4 years ago, back when RuneScape was at its peak. Also, this new thing, the dice game. The dice game is basically one of the biggest rip-offs in RuneScape since the Obsidian and cape swapping. That was a big rip-off too, but the dice game is pretty big rip-off. Not all of them are a rip-off, obviously. Some of them are legit, but you basically hand your money over to the host or the holder of the dice, and he or she rolls the dice, and if you get above or below a certain number, you may double or lose all of your money. Now, obviously, the major con to this is you're trusting them with your money. If they decide at any point to log off, it's just too bad. You just lost all your money, and there's nothing you can do about it because you've already accepted the trade and the money was in their inventory. So, not a very smart game to play, very, very high risk, but some of the people will pay out large, depending on how many people they're hosting for. So that's some of the main things. If you're going to play the game, at least look and see how many people is this person hosting for, how legit are they, what is their creditability, uh, stuff like that. So this concludes the first Super Lewis TV talk show for RuneScape, and I hope to make more to come. I want you to please comment and rate, and if you like my shows, subscribe. And if not, then don't. And if you really don't like it, leave me a bad comment. Alright.